Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another long-awaited episode of Commentary Corner. It's been a long time. We're finally back in action. Apologies, we've moved house. The real studio, the actual studio, isn't ready yet, but my good friend Mark is here tonight, and we're going to grab some shovels and get some do a wee bit of work out the back of the house. But no, seriously, thanks for your patience. Some of you might care, some of you might not give a shit. Really, I don't. I just like a wee bit of crack and a wee
what
chat.
it's all about.
That's it.
That's motorbikes.
That's it, mate. So joining me tonight on the casting couch, we'll call it that, will we?
Welcome to OnlyFans, everybody.
Well, fucking, it's good enough for Davy Todd. You know what I mean? Yeah, so welcome, Mark Hewitt.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's been
a while.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you on. Well, you don't know this, but I've been hamming and humming about getting you on, and it's just the right time. You know, I was like, I knew before Christmas, you know, Mark's going to be the first one back.
Happy days.
You know, so
Cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop. And stop talking like this on the casting couch. Yeah, how have you been?
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
Just enjoyed not trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go Bishop's Court, Kirkerson, all that carry on. Nice wee break over winter. So
yeah,
it's been good.
You're not bossing to get back, are you?
No,
not
even a wee bit.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, I say no, but sort of. You know yourself, like it's
like during race season,
it's too intense.
Well, you love it.
Yeah.
And then about halfway through the season, you're like, I can't wait for a break. And then at the end of the season, you're like, thank God for that. And then after Christmas, I don't know about you, but I always wanted to get on a bike, and you know, but I had loads of help.
Okay.
You know, I had my dad and a few spanner men, nipper, and you know, and then the father-in-law had a help too.
Okay.
You know, so
that's definitely a big help.
It made a lot of things easier. Like, yeah.
I think we ruined ourselves. We went over to Portimao there at the end after the sunflower, and it was nice and sunny and warm and nice. And now we have to go back to Bishop's Court in, 6 weeks' time?
Yeah.
Is it? Would it be? Probably.
2
months, say?
Yeah, beginning of April, yeah.
Yeah. And it's no doubt going to be raining.
Probably.
Happy days.
I love you. Yes, because you're
happy days.
Because you're exceptional in the wet. I have to say, like I was a good wet weather rider. It's probably a good excuse because it slowed everyone down. You know,
it's a good leveler. It definitely is.
Yeah, 100%. But whenever, just a wee bit of background on yourself, Mark. That spotlight's blinding me. I don't know why. I can't see you anymore, but you're in that.
I'm here.
You're in that direction.
I'm definitely here.
So, wee bit of background on Mark. You're every 9 to 5 every day, man. You know.
I wish I got read up at 9 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, used to be.
Salesman job.
Salesman, but never really. You liked motorbikes. You were into them, sort of.
This is the thing. Like, a lot of people think, right, your results have been pretty good, rather good. What did you do before? But like, when you tell people that you've never ever raced motorbikes of any form, they don't believe you.
Yeah,
like nobody actually believes you. Like, I've never rode motocross. When I was 5 or 6 or whatever year of age I was. We had 50s, we raced 50s, but I don't even remember them days. Like 50cc quads. And then from that, you sort of got away from it. And then I remember my brother, he got a slightly bigger quad, and I had always said that I just wanted something with 2 wheels. So my dad got me a Coyote. I still remember, it's still actually in the garage. I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to old stuff. So it's still there. I remember getting that. It was like, I think she was like a 3-speed semi-automatic, you know, like a wee motocross bike. Right. So we had fields out the back of the house, so we just tipped around that. Good old crack. Still remember it. We made this wee jump, hit the jump, ass fell out of the Coyotes. Just pure Chinese, slap, bang. Still feel the pain from that, but
Jesus.
Yeah, so it started from there and then sort of got away from it. And
Mhm.
then I got an 85 motocross bike just for riding around the fields. Like never done any tracks or nothing.
Right.
Then we got 125s. So me and my brother both had 125s. So we just raced each other around just flat fields.
Oh,
But like I always enjoyed the bikes and just wheeling, stoppies and dicking about pretty much.
I
Like,
reckon each other.
yeah, nothing extravagant. Then do you remember how long ago would that be? Do you remember Blair's motocross track? Joe, just right
yeah.
beside the
Yeah.
motorway there, where the park and ride is.
That was a Harry Corbett thing, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
I think Harry Corbett had something to do with that. Yeah.
So we went there a couple of times, and it was just all right. But it's a lot of packing up to take me and my brother away to go and do a bit of arson about. So we never actually done anything really. Like we just done a couple of laps, had a bit of fun, went home.
Yeah.
But then, like, we all drifted apart from that and then never really bothered. Then they just got parked up and you just went about your business when you were 13, 14 years of age. You know yourself. Like, you get your friends and you go into town. You're not
Into
really
mischief
interested.
and-
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
then, sure, what happened from there? No motorbikes when
For a long time.
for a long time. Then the next motorbike was actually when I was in SCRE with you. Do you remember I bought the 450? Do you remember it got delivered to SCRE?
That's right. Yes.
That was 2017.
That's right.
Took a mad notion. I was just like, yeah, want another motocross bike, want to get back onto the bikes, see what happens. Got that, and there is now 16 hours in it.
No way.
I swear to God.
16 hours.
16 hours. It's pretty much brand new.
From you bought it?
From I bought it, yeah. Used it a couple of times. Like, yeah, it's class, fast, but stupid, pointless.
Yeah.
So like they're too aggressive.
Yeah.
And like,
Yep.
good fun to go out on for an hour, park it back up again, and forget about it.
Yeah.
But just no interest in it. Like,
You're like me. I got my first motocross bike was a 450 Suzuki, and I thought, fucking, like I ride a 230 brake horsepower BMW Superbike.
yeah,
What's the wee 450 gonna do? Oh my God!
yeah.
It tore the arms out of me.
They're stupid because you
Yeah.
just keep in third gear and you ride it everywhere. It just
Yeah.
gets boring. Like,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
you're not. They're like the 125s. You're revving at it and clutching it.
You
and
have to, yeah.
Just you actually
You
have
have to
ride-
actually ride them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But like, I just got bored of it so quick.
Mhm.
Real good fun to do class wheelies, big
Mhm.
stander uppers, and then just park it up and go. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah. I'll do for
I
another.
don't want to rebuild it in 40 hours, so I've just put 16
Ah,
on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was my biggest fear. Like a piston. It was a rebuild, like a piston Conrail, whatever. It was £1,000.
Oh, easy.
And I'm like, I don't want to pay this. I'm just going to ride this thing to shit itself.
Yeah.
And then I said I got an engine rebuild and I sold it for the same price I bought it.
Happy days. Say nothing.
Yeah, fucking right. I don't know who bought it. Some wee fella in Belfast. Like,
Facebook Marketplace wasn't as good back then.
no, it wasn't. No, it was postage and pigeons.
Yeah. Gumtree was just on the scene.
Dumb yet?
Showing her age now.
I know.
That's sick.
See. But from like you were when I remember when you started SRE, and it was like, I don't know, you were really energetic all the time. It's like you could see the ADHD was hanging out of you.
Yeah.
And,
Properly.
yeah. And I was like, you said something about getting a bike. You asked me about motorbike, about racing and stuff, and you were always real interested in it. And I was like, fuck, you just have to do it all the time. You just have to do it.
See,
And that was, as you say, that was 2017. It was probably before that. And
it would have been because I was talking about going to Spain back then, getting
doing
600
track
and
days,
doing
that's
that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, because my biggest thing was like, my dad wouldn't have let me done it.
Mm-hmm.
No chance, not a mission. Like, no way. He seen me in the motocross bikes, and it's just like, you're not getting the road bike because, like, my brother had 600s, and he would have went out with my dad, and he would have done the odd track day with Wolsey Coulter, and he's been to Spain and stuff, but it was always me that was never allowed to get that because he knew that I would have been, oh yeah, here, watch this sort of carry on, like, just like, how fast does this go, and just act the agent.
Yeah.
To be fair, like, I was probably thankful that he did do that because I definitely would have been dead. There is absolutely no doubt about it.
All right.
100%.
What
100%.
are you? You're a very sensible young fella.
I know I am now.
You are
I
now.
am now, yeah. Just
I was thinking about that up the road actually because you were, in racing terms, you're a very late bloomer.
yeah.
You know, you started like this was your last year, was your first year.
Yeah.
That was your first season.
Yeah, but that was literally because I just turned 30 and I was like, how about I'm near done here.
I need to do something.
I need to, if I don't do this now, it's never happening. Ever. But
you need to try it.
I needed to try it and I'm glad I did. Like, I'm really glad that I did. Like, my first ever race was on a superbike going into the first corner at Bishop's Court in the wet.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first time I'd ever been in a race, in a mass start, anything. Like, it's just really, really hard to explain to people because nobody would ever believe the story until you actually done a bit of digging in the background to realize that it is actually true and you'd never raced before. Like,
no.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I still remember that race, and like it's only now at the end of the season where I actually can sit back and think, well, do you know what? It actually was a decent result because I know you had texted me after it and said, "Here, I can't believe it. That was fantastic." And Boylan came up to me after it, and he had said that he had never seen the like that before, and that was just incredible. Then I can't remember the fella's name from what do you call it, Road Racer in Ireland. He came up and done an interview.
Wallace Rollins and
Morris.
Yeah.
Morris Montgomery, isn't it?
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah. So he had come up and he had just chatted away to me and done like a wee write-up, and then he had a write-up on Road Race in Ireland. But it was actually quite funny because my dad had came down he was there when that was going on, and I think it sort of came and twigged to him as this like, actually is actually pretty good at this. Like, cause I'd said to them before, like I'm gonna go and race motorbikes this year, and like it was, the conversation was always cut down. Like, as in terms of support, there was minus support. Like Beth, she's all for it. Like, she's all biz. Like, she's near probably as worse than me when it comes to the whole thing. She's really supportive. Like.
She loves the social side of it.
She loves the social side of it, but she loves it too. Like she was out in Portimao, she was doing laps, and
is that right?
She's round Bishop's Court the whole lot.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I felt really bad the last time at Bishop's Court. She fell off and broke her collarbone, but
oh no,
it's not.
And
I was like, here, do you want to ride home? Like, it's grand. Joe, like playing it off because like the bike was grand. There was just a scratch on the side of it, and I didn't actually realize the extent of how bad it was because you know yourself, like you fell off, you're just all buzzed, get back on again, just try and keep going.
Just try and finish, yeah.
Yeah, because like sure, amount of times you fell off motocross bikes and you just got up and brushed yourself off and back onto it before it even run out of juice. So, yeah. So
brilliant.
She's very supportive, and then I've got my wee mechanic who Swift. He's just not wise. He's
is that right?
Oh, Mr. BMW. That's how the whole BMW thing came along.
Right?
Yeah, he's M3's coming out his ears.
Loves them.
Just everything has to be BMW. Yeah. So that is hence half the reason we went for a BMW, and I'm glad we did. Like, I'm really glad we did.
There's some piece of kit.
Oh, not wise.
I love that one of mine, but like for you to come, I just don't. I was racing for years before I got the BM.
Yeah.
And for you, for your first season, BMW winning, you know,
it's very strange.
Yeah, leading and top threes, and oh my god, like on the podium. How many times were you on the podium this year?
I think with 5 wins, and was it 5 wins? 5 wins with 3 top 5s in pro class.
Unbelievable.
That's
unbelievable. I'm getting goosebumps now because whenever I text you, after that win, I was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah.
You know,
how did this happen?
What you're making these boys, you know, well, if I was there, I would feel stupid.
Yeah.
You know, like you just came from nowhere.
Yeah.
Who's this? Everyone was coming asking me because I kept mentioning you.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what Swift was saying. He was like, that fella, that commentator, like he never shut up about you that whole race. That's all he was saying. It's just like, and there's Mark. And
yeah.
It's like
I was like, I was buzzing. I couldn't keep still.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Oh, it was class. Like, I remember nearly every lap of that race. Like it's my fondest memory. Like you probably remember your first start, your first race. Like like that's only 6 months ago there now, and like insane, absolutely insane.
Well, I've had a few bumps to the head since then, but you know, I can remember. No, I can't. I can't remember. No, I can't.
Yeah,
but no, it would have. I'm sure it was some buzz.
Oh, it was class. Like we went to that. You know the way you do your assessment day.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, it must have been. Well, it would have been February. mid-February last year, would find that BM in England. So I phoned my mechanic and I was like, look, do you want to go for a spin? We'll go over here, lift this bike. Your man can talk you through all the bits and pieces because it's fancy dancy, super ridiculous stock level. Like that MRCK kit that comes in them BMWs from Alpha is
Right.
You just download it onto the laptop and you can just see all your Motec data log, and it's
Pac-Man and stuff.
yeah, it's very very futuristic stuff. Like, but we started that journey together. So like it's sort of one of them things. Like, it's so strange when he's not there. Like, there's a couple of track days that he wasn't there, and he's just like, where is he? Like, you miss him not being there because he's part of your racing. Yeah. So like we went over, lifted that. It's like
going to a race without your helmet.
Yeah, it just couldn't do it. Could not do it. Yeah. Well, the last time that I went and he wasn't there, I ended up breaking her, but that's a different story. So yeah, we started that journey, went over, lifted that bike, had a bit of crack on the way home, talked about it, and then the assessment days came up and we decided that we'd just take the Kawasaki because I'd done a couple of track days last year and I had a ZX10 there, so I was like, right, we'll take that there, we'll do the assessment days before we take the BM out, because I hadn't rode the bike again since it must have been August time, last Ernie Coates track day.
Is that right?
Easy. So then I was just like, right, I'll get a wee spin on that then, and then we'll see how we get on. And like straight away we were doing, I think it was like 102s at the assessment day. And
Jesus Christ.
What who was there? We Graham McAleese, oh he's some crack, like. Yeah. And Andrew Smith. So them two boys were doing the instructing on that assessment day. So we good crack that day, and then the next assessment day was like the weekend after, and I was like, right, we'll take the BM out, we'll go for a rip and see how we get on. Yeah. And we landed there and it just started to rain. And we're like, why didn't we just take the Kawasaki? Like, so like we just took this new machine here. Yeah. I've never rode a motorbike in the wet ever. Put the wet tires on, we'll go out and see.
And you haven't read the BM?
No. No, hadn't rode the BM before. Yeah. We'll just put it into rain mode. We'll wire the rain light in there that day because they said, right, you have to go through scrutineering as if you're going through in a normal race. And brought it up and he's like, oh, you've no rain light. And I was like, right, okay. So we went back again, wired the light in, back up, and like that was my first experience really of like what you have to do for scrutineering. Yeah, yeah. Because they're trying to teach you what it's going to be like on a race day, obviously. So I had no idea. Like I just put my leathers on, bits and pieces. Swift, sort that out there, bring that up. So he was flat out. Then they split you up into your groups, and then you went out. And I remember going out, and I was behind Andrew Smith. And he started pushing on, and I started following behind him, and it just kept going. I just kept sitting on his tail. Yeah. And then we got back in, and he pulled in, and he just stopped, and he just looked at me and was like, "You've nothing to learn." And I was like,
"Oh, really?
What do you mean?" And I was just like, I was pushing on there. Like I could have only went like maybe a second or maybe 2 seconds faster. Yeah. Like,
holy shit!
How are you doing this? Like, but. It didn't feel fast to me. It just felt normal. Yeah. Like it felt like I was just following him around.
Just riding around.
Like I wouldn't have passed him because like I didn't think you were allowed to pass him, but it probably could have passed him too, like that sort of thing. But like the dash was showing like 103s.
Yeah.
And it was wet. So
holy shit.
Yeah, and like
that's like there's so many out there don't get anywhere near 103s. They're running about 105s in the dry.
Yeah.
You know.
Because like you can see it in the dash, like the dash class, and it actually gives you your delta. It shows you your plus or minus, whether you're up or down, so you can chase your times better on it. Like, but I kept seeing the 103s in the dash, and then it dropped down to 102 for the end of the day. So it was actually going at the same pace that it was going on the Kawasaki, on the BM and the wet. So I just gelled with it straight away. It was just perfect. And then there, what was it, a minute 5 in the last wet rate or something?
Yeah.
No, a minute 0.5, a minute 0.6.
1 minute 0.5.
Yeah.
Unreal.
In the wet. Fuck. And I remember halfway through the year breaking into 59s in the dry. Yeah. And that was a big achievement because like that's how you classify things at Bishopsport. Like, have you broke a minute?
Yeah, below a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus. That's some going. Like.
And that was only in the assessment days.
So, can I have my license, please, sir?
Yeah. So, And sure, I got an absolute bollocking that second day by Mark Sandlin, because it's just what he called it was wet and just came on the back straight and just this massive wheelie the whole length of the back straight. Just after the checkered flag.
Aye.
Oh, it was brilliant. Because they done like 3-lap races. So they're like, right, you come on the start finish line, you do your start, you come round, and then you get your last lap flag, and then you come round across the start finish line.
Yeah.
Oh, and like miles away from everybody else, and then just came round last and out of the chicane and this big wheelie down the straight.
I just stood her up.
Yeah, it's like class.
And they give you a bollocking.
Oh, complete tune. Complete and utter tune. He says like that you only like we'll give you a bye ball if you win a race or anything like that there. So now I'm technically owed for. So like, I'm owed a couple of wheelies now, so
just wheelie 4 laps.
Yeah.
Your next one.
Perfect. Well, sure, I tried that all year.
Yeah.
That start finish at Carcassonne.
Brilliant.
Still remember you saying about that in the commentary. Just wheeling the full length of it. You had somebody up in the thing. Could not keep the front of her down now. No chance. No way.
Jesus.
But then sure you go into the electronics and try and take her down.
Electronics. Oh, don't.
Not in your day.
No.
Stone Age.
What are you talking about? I drove up BM of mine. My first time sitting on it was with Doc John, legend, God rest his soul. Me and him rented Nuts Corner, and coming down where the start and finish straight is now, and it like tips left. Like it's pretty fast. It's a pretty fast left. You're just rolling off, in sort of 3rd, 4th gear. You could only really get 3 or 4 gears in the Superbike Nuts Corner, And I just rolled off, and I thought I'll short shift it, and that'll do me this lap. It was the first session, short shifted, false neutral.
No way.
And the bike just dropped on her side. No forces to keep her up, you see, and she just hit the curb and barrel rolled.
No way.
Barrel rolled, and I thought, well, to me it was a brand new bike, I bought it off Kirk Johnson.
And you just racked it.
And I just racked her.
I'll touch wood, that wasn't
happening. But we ended up, funny, it was Doc John, he says, that was because I was sort of gaining on him then.
Okay.
And that's why I was slowing up, that'll do me. And Doc John heard all this going on behind him. And the next one was like a right-hander, like a sort of right.
Yeah.
And then up and right again. And when he was turning right, he looked over and he could see what was happening. And he says, that was my fastest lap round Nuts Corner.
Doc John?
Doc John, getting back round to me.
No way.
To make sure it was all right. But it was just lying there in tears.
Because you crashed your bike?
I just crashed the bike. It was brand new. And I like, fuck. So from that, I had the clocks. So traction control, everything was programmed through the clocks.
Okay.
On them things.
Yeah.
So I got a new set of clocks. I got them cheap off Mark Hewitt. And fit the clocks, but you have to program them.
Yeah.
Fucking charging 250, 300 quid.
I would say so.
What? To plug it in?
BMW prices.
What I was plugging bike, I've been plugging cars in most of my life.
Yeah.
Diagnosing problems, diagnosing this. That is not a £300 problem.
Definitely not.
And I thought, what's the worst can happen? I ride a TZ 350.
Yeah.
Keep traction control off. No traction control. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Different animal.
I recommend it.
Traction control?
Not traction control.
No traction control?
On the BM.
Okay.
No. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. It just tried to kill me all the time.
Okay. That's a bit like the ZX10. Like the ZX10 she was 2011. Like she was old school. Like she had traction control, like that KRT, whatever it is, and that fancy stuff that they brought into it. But you can actually turn it all off, like 1, 2, 3 power grades and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I only ever rode it with traction control off. So it was a nice feeling because it actually, do the way they're fly-by-wire, they're cable operated throttles.
Yeah.
So like they're really sensitive. I think that was the best thing that I'd ever done.
Really?
Is ride that. Because it gives you the manners.
The feel.
Joe, when you roll it on and you can feel like she's really snatchy and really sharp. That's probably why now I'm so good in the wet, because I'm really easy on her.
Aye.
Like really easy.
So you're not snatching her out of corners? You're
not snatching it, no. But once you start to pick the bike up, yeah, you're rolling her on pretty hard. But like that Kawasaki taught me a bit of manners.
Is that right?
Yeah. Like there's a couple of times at Bishop's Court there that would have been up out of the seat on the BM.
Yeah.
Like I've had a couple of massive moments coming on to that start finish tip, but like you need that to wake you up. Because sometimes in them races, like, it just spreads out that much. It gets boring. You're just sitting there going, blah, blah, blah. Because, like, you know yourself, like, you've got Ryan and Ross and Corey, like, in the dry, they just piss off.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much they do. Because qualifying in that cup class is very, very difficult. Like, you ask any of the boys that ran at the front of that cup class, like, it was tight. Like,
there's that bloody many.
you have so many rolling chicanes to get round. It's just, it's hard. So your qualifying times are well back.
Yeah.
So you're maybe 2 or 3 seconds off the pace, and then you're jumping straight into a race where you have to get up to that pace.
You have to,
in the first lap. But it's hard to do that. Like,
and if you don't, you have to start chipping away at people, and then that slows everything down.
But once you get through that there, then once they're gone, you have nothing to toe on to.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sort of looking forward to this year, because, like, you'll be in the big class with the qualifying.
Straight away.
So you can jump onto the back of somebody and try and get up to speed. But in a way, I'm sort of glad that you done the cup class, because then you learn how to chip away at it and teach you some manners, because I experienced the highs of that first race and then the lows of crashing out of the second race.
Yeah.
So, like, you went from the top to the bottom really, really quick.
Straight away. Yeah.
Yeah, sliding through the grass isn't that fun. Like, and all I was worried about was my bike. Like, I didn't care about me. Like, I was just like, I hope that bike's ground. Like.
That's what the NHS is for. Like. Well, fuck.
Say no more.
I know. The bike costs money.
I know.
But no,
you need that though.
You do.
You do need it.
As you said, like, there's been people, young cubs, up and coming from mini motos, from 6-year-old, and go on to Superbike, like Super Sport 300 or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, this kid's good. Yeah. This kid is good. And they may be rocking these amazing times out, winning races in their first year and stuff, and then this happens all the time, they have one big crash.
And just ruins them.
And they either never want to get back on again, or they're running the back.
Slows you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I noticed that, so that was the second round, because they never run the second race. That first day was cancelled because the rain was brutal. Like, it was horrendous. And then they didn't run the cup race, so you got no points for that meeting. You only got your points out of the big class. But that was funny too, like, because you went up to get your trophy at the end of it, and there was no trophy for Mark. I was like, what's going on here? Like, and Jordan actually got the first place trophy, and I said to Mark, I was like, no, that's wrong. And he's like,
yeah,
hey, I've got the sheet there, I'm reading it. And I was like, hey, but, like, look a wee bit higher up there.
Yeah.
Because he was like, all the cup riders are normally down at the bottom.
That's
here.
right.
And then I was like, no, that's me up
right.
there, because, like, I finished 6th because we ran out of fuel over the line. I was just like, oh, I didn't look that far up the list. And I was like,
yeah,
thanks for that.
I remember that. And you never got it?
No, I did get it.
Oh, did you get it then?
I did get it. I was just like, you keep that trophy, but see that check? I want that check. It's the only check I got all year.
Keep the plastic trophy. Yeah. Show me the money.
No. Well, it was nice. Like, first race, first place.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Way to go.
I've never seen anyone win in a Superbike race. Their first race.
Yeah, with an orange bib.
With an orange bib.
It's hard to beat. I've got it with me. Do you want to put it on?
LOL. Not. Yeah. Brilliant. I was like, I'm dreaming. Somebody pins me here. This has never happened. What's going on?
Yeah. No,
but it's like, from earlier, I was talking about, being a late bloomer and stuff. That helps too, like.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, you're wiser. And to a degree. You think about things a bit more. You might feel like you're only going round because you're thinking about it. You feel comfortable. Look at John Burrows.
Yeah.
He didn't start I don't know. And he was in his 30s, wasn't he, when he started?
Yeah.
38 or something. I can't remember. He's like 201 now, so, and he's still fast, like, and he's still quick. Sorry, John. We'll edit that bit out. Yeah. No, we won't. But, and he was fast from straight out of the blocks. Bale McGocky, I think it was Bale that got him racing, and he was, oh, come on, try it, give it a go.
Yeah.
And he was out of the blocks, like yourself, unreal. So you'll be going around town again next year?
No interest in them short roads, like. I would love a lap of the Northwest. Love. a lap of the Northwest, but no interest in Tandragee. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd support it and I'd go to it, but riding around it, no interest.
No.
No.
See, you've got new ferns to be in, with big wings now. You can...
I did take the hedges with you.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Just cut them down.
Apparently get a grant off that off the DOE, would you?
Don't be talking about that. No, not with the Tandragee. Sure, Tandragee, they're...
Won't even resurface it.
Oh, getting the road resurfaced. They were, to be fair to them, they were going to put the money into it.
Okay.
So there was like, I don't know, I think the government, the fucking council, whoever they are, there was rumours of them looking around about 80 grand or so. And
off the club.
Because what was going on, the road surface was suitable for everyday traffic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't suitable to race on.
Okay.
So they weren't going to put the money into it. So the club had to, pay up, basically, and add to it. And it was going to be like 80 grand or something like that, or I don't know what it was, or 80 or 100, I can't remember. But I'm hoping that they came to their senses, and they're meant to be resurfacing the end of this month.
Run out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
I thought it was done.
Yeah?
It's not even done.
Holy moly.
It's still, the track hasn't been touched. Now, to be fair, well, it might be by the time this goes out, but what, next week?
Probably. Well, like, what do you call it? Up past start finish line, once you head up towards, what's that, Marleycoo, isn't it? Is it up towards Marleycoo? Would be, yeah. That part of the road,
that's where you're heading to.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Like, they've already resurfaced like a section on the left hand side, and you can already see what do you call it, the gravel coming through.
Yeah.
It's already broke up.
It's always ripples there.
Yeah.
Always ripples.
Like that left hander up over the hill.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you could take that a lot quicker. Because you're powering there, and you could take it a lot quicker, but because it's always ripply, that's another thing you see you have to remember.
On the roads.
Yeah. Like there's the Isle of Man TT. Fair enough, they've done a load of resurfacing. Lap times are down.
Mm-hmm.
But is it always good to have a lovely smooth road?
Not necessarily. If you get a bit of a sheen on that there, like, them boys are just insane. Like.
And they're trucking.
Yeah.
They're going a lot quicker. Look at the Ulster Grand Prix.
Yeah.
The tidied up Ireland's corner. I remember Guy Martin's crash. He broke his neck and his back and whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's right, aye.
He went through Ireland.
Straight through the hedge.
He said, well, the hedges weren't there. He says, see if them hedges were there,
aye,
that wouldn't have happened. Because he felt too safe.
Okay.
Going through it, and they resurfaced that track as well. So a lot of boys, I remember I think it was Noel Johnson. He would have liked the rain because it slowed them down, and he used to hate resurfaced tracks.
Okay.
Because they're going to go hell for leather. That's lovely and smooth.
Yeah.
And look at the lap times now at the TT.
That's scared the life out of you, though.
Mm-hmm.
You never done that? No, you didn't know.
TT?
Yeah,
no.
Just Manx, no.
Didn't know.
No.
I was meant to do the TT, and I went over and learnt it and stuff, and then I went and headbutted a fence post.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen.
Okay. Good enough.
But it all happens for a reason.
Yeah. No, that's just different level. Like, there's too much of that to learn. What's that, 37 3/4 miles?
Yeah.
Like,
scary.
Ugh, insane. And what are
like
they doing?
Like, see, up round Ginger Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ryan Farquhar, I was chatting to him one night, and he said he was exactly the same as me. After Ginger Hall, didn't know where he was going. I was the same.
It's too much of a risk.
Until, he knows now, obviously, but I find it really difficult to learn that section.
Yeah.
And then I ended up having to learn it in sections.
Okay.
Because it was too long for my brain to compute, process, to take everything in.
But when that's happening, and what them boys, what's a good lap now? 127 mile an hour and above.
That's very,
yeah. They're like that's traveling like
yeah.
At that average speed. Like, how do you remember what's coming next? Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
And then sure you have Hickman and Todd and Dunlap there, and
we're just on it all the time. I don't know how to do it.
No idea.
Because, well, when I say that, I was bricking it at my first Tandragee, and they always say it's a mini TT. Fair enough, it's nowhere near as long as a TT, but there's a good bit. There's fair enough bit to
that back
remember.
section towards the crossroads.
Yeah,
Like
there's a good bit to remember, and I just took to it like a duck to water.
yeah. But it's like everything. Like people say, oh, they're going fast, but when you're actually sitting on the bike, it feels slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it sort of is all in slow motion, and you're just in the zone, and you're sort of just
Funny,
going through the motions.
we were talking earlier about Dundrod, and just bit of chat before this, and what was it I was talking about? After Joey's, underneath the trees at Dundrod.
Yeah.
After Joey's, you're up the hill over the crossroads, and there's a flat out right hander under the trees. Like, see there, it was magical. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely magical. So bloody fast.
But you can still take it all in.
Yeah. And there's they used to queue up on the right hand side there on the fence, hanging over the fence.
Yeah.
Like, we must have been trucking 170 mile an hour, 180 mile an hour up there.
You can still see
the
them.
Superbikes. And I could see what Joe Bloggs was eating for his lunch. You know what I mean?
That is the crazy thing about it.
Mental. And one of the marshals came up to me and he says, "Oh, I'm flagging up," and I named. He says, "How do you know that?" "I seen you." "You shouldn't have seen me." And he told me that, that young fella shouldn't be out there. He's able to see me. Blah, blah, blah. You boys get on. Like.
Yeah. But you're just going through the motions.
Yeah, because your brain slows down.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people in the Northwest, like in the Northwest, even the Grand Prix,
Mm-hmm.
after racing at it, end up with motion sickness and vertigo. And because when you get off the bike at the TT, or the Northwest, it happened to me once. And you get off the bike and everything's still
going,
moving. You're standing still, but the scenery around you is like moving.
Okay.
And I was like, what's going on here? I'm freaking out. And I said to one of the other riders, and he was like, "Does that happen to you as well?" I says, "Aye." And then found out it's motion sickness. Like, happens to everyone.
Class.
There's a few. I know of a few riders. I'm not going to name them, but they've had to get hypnotized.
Okay.
To slow down, because it doesn't stop. What was that?
I have no idea.
Someone's died. Yeah, they have to hypnotize they get hypnotized to slow their brains down.
No way.
Yeah, mental.
I could probably do that.
Yeah.
Turn off the ADHD.
Every day of life. ADHD switch.
That's exactly what I need.
Oh my god.
Oh, class.
Brilliant.
No, it'd be that's bound to be some buzz heading down towards what do you call it, university, like just flat. Like that has to be class.
Yeah.
Some buzz.
I would have loved to do it before the chicanes were put in.
I just hold her flat.
Like there's, see back in the day, like the Nortons and all, like they were clocking near 200 mile an hour.
Insane.
And how long ago was that? 40 years ago. Yeah.
Probably.
And they're hitting 200 mile an hour, and 45, 50 years old, bro.
See, the crazy thing is, what was it? Harrison went through the speed trap there at 205 on a stock Fireblade.
Yeah.
So, like, that is class.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's as a bike that you can just go to Charleshurst and buy and put an exhaust on.
Yeah.
Like, super stock bikes, like I know this year they're changing regulation, British Superstock, to bring them back to cut tires to try and slow them down, to take them away from the lap times of the Superbikes.
That's right, yeah.
The stock is where it's at. Like, that is class, because all the electronics, they're there to help you, and it brings out the best racing.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, BSB is cool, like, don't get me wrong, but I'd prefer to watch something that is really realistic to what you can actually go out and buy yourself.
Yeah.
Because like them BSB bikes, they're tricked. Like, they have some stuff on them. Like, but
I laughed. I was listening to it was another podcast. The rider, there was a rider on talking about the TT, and he was saying, people say ban a bike, Superstock is ban a bike from a shop and racing it, and he says, bullshit. You have to have this, you have to have that, you have to spend this much money on it, blah, blah, blah. And there's me sitting, I went and bought a new ZX10, Kawasaki, full road bike, everything. All I done was put race ferns on it. I had a silencer from one of my old Suzukis was Yoshimir's silencer, and I turned it round just to hide the Suzuki, but
No way.
stuck it on the Kawasaki ZX10 and went out. And the boy that was saying that on that podcast went out and bait him. Literally rolled it out of the showroom. I did a few laps of Dundrod. You seen the photo earlier?
Yeah.
And put 350 mile on her. I thought, fuck, that'll do.
Let's go.
And set of race ferns, Suzuki pipe.
See, that's what I like. Like, I only really have interest in thousands, like 600s. No interest.
No.
Literally no interest. It's completely different riding style. You really have to. You have to keep your corner speed. You can't rely on loads of horsepower.
No.
And I'm not really. You
You'd
have to
been
push.
a good two-stroke rider.
Do you think so? Don't know.
100%.
I like that. I like that in deep, pick her up and nail her out of the corner like that.
Right.
That is, I'm into that. But see carrying that corner speed to the 600 boys are fair play to them. Like that's nice.
Well, how to get you on a two-stroke just to break that?
Just to break that.
Yeah. I see you on the Superbike sometimes, and I think, through the chicanes at Bishop's Court, and I'm thought, the corner speed you're carrying, you roll into the corner.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's two-stroke style.
Yeah. See, I actually had it. Ryan followed me for a lap of Bishop's Court, and all he said was that your mid-corner speed's class, your corner exit's unbelievable, but you're just too early on the brakes. And I know that's where my problem is. Like, so I'm too early on the brakes and then letting off the roll into the corner.
Yeah.
Whereas I need to be on it more. But that's telling your brain that you need to brake.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you're approaching the corner, you need to just count that half a second or count that second before you grab the brake. But the problem over here is you've no run on.
No.
You really have no run on.
No. That's I don't know, like my problem was the opposite.
Okay.
I was fast in, really late in the brakes.
Okay.
Corner speed was next to none. See my exit? Shite.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was like a bull.
Okay.
You ever hear this expression, like, slow in, fast out?
Yeah.
I was fast in, slow out.
Okay.
So if you're too fast in, you'll lose all your momentum. And you've lost it in the way out of it. Like, you don't get your drive. So what you're doing... It's your first fucking year, man. What you're doing is perfect, and it'll come.
See, that's it. The only thing is experience. Like all them boys that you're racing with have rode for years. They've rode in the British Championships. They've done thousands of laps of Bishop's Court. I still need to find that marker, but that'll only come with experience because I'm not. I could probably go into the corner and go, well, that's me. I'm not making it. And then that's your weekend over, and maybe your next 3 months over because you have to fix the damn thing. Whereas if you just chip away at it, like we went to Portimao there, and that was the best I've ever rode a bike.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
I've seen photos and stuff. I've seen videos.
Yeah.
Was that Swifty with you, or who was that?
Yeah, well, Swift was with me there. Yeah.
Class. Like.
So yeah, it was brilliant. Like that was definitely my best time on a bike.
Yeah.
Oh. See, because you had so much run on.
Yeah.
Like, I was coming into all of them, you're dabbing your elbow on the ground. Like, I was never trailing elbows over here on the tracks that we have. And then you're coming over there, and it's just coming natural. You're just flowing. Like, everything's just linking into it. And, like, you look at the World Superbike boys, they were out there testing. They were doing 41s, 42s. And that was my first ever time around it on a stock S, and you're doing 49s.
Fuck's sake.
Over 3 miles, so you're not a million miles away, and like you're down on par, and like Skinner was there. Skinner's been around that. Oh fuck, sure. I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
And he was doing 47s when we were there.
And so you're riding bikes all winter, and
yeah. So when you were 2 seconds off him, like he was the benchmark there. Like don't get me wrong, like the next days that he pushed on, he got down to like 44.8, but he's still a hell of a rider.
Yeah.
So like, if you're within 4 seconds of him over 3 miles, how come you can't get onto the back of the boys over here over 1.5 miles of Kirkuson?
Yeah,
like
it's experience.
It's coming. Like it's definitely coming. But
like you going over there to Spain and you're going again.
Yeah,
and the more track time. I never went to Spain because you go over there.
That's completely different to what you get at home.
the tracks are like billiard boards. It's nice and warm, and then you come back here and go to Kyrgyzstan and it's pissing down 3 degrees.
Yeah, it is a pointless
bumpy.
experiment. Like all you're doing is going out there to have a bit of fun. Like you're not actually, like boys say out there, they're going out there to do a bit of testing. They're trying to get ready.
It's just a holiday.
It's a holiday.
Yeah.
It's a holiday with trying to ride the bike.
Yeah.
But you know yourself over here, you get 12-minute warm up stroke qualifying. Like that's you straight into the race then after that.
Yeah.
Whereas over there, like you were getting 20-minute sessions 7 times a day. So like you were getting a hell of a lot of track time.
Yeah.
You were getting into your rhythm and you were going faster.
And you're feeling the bike.
Yeah. Whereas here you're just straight onto them and straight out into the race. Like I know that first few, like you were going to the toilet like about 10 times before the race.
Yeah.
Like you were nervous. Like you just
Like a racehorse.
You hadn't felt that like buzz before. And
Yeah.
like sitting in that holding paddock, I just want absolutely nobody to talk to me.
No.
And that's the best thing about Swift. He doesn't say a word. He knows what he has to do.
Because he doesn't like you.
Probably. He's a ball bag. I hate him.
Talking out, boy.
But it's just brilliant having him there because like he doesn't chirp in your ear.
Mhm.
He's not going, right, look at this here and look at that there, look at that.
Right.
He just stands there. He knows what to do. Everything's calm.
Yeah.
He's like, good luck, bud. And go.
Yeah.
And it's always class to come in after a brilliant result because he's always standing there just as soon as you come in the pit lane to take it, and you can judge by his face if you've done all right or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you come in and it's nice. Like sometimes you've really good race and he's like, that was good.
Yeah.
It was grand. And then I'll maybe come in sometimes and I'm raging and I'm just not happy. Like, but
And he's still standing there with a smile on his face.
that's it.
As he always is.
That's it. Like that's part of the team.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
Yeah.
Like people always look at it and think, oh, it's the rider and the rider's doing that. And
Sometimes you're doing it for them.
yeah, you know yourself. Like you could not do that without them people.
Nope.
There's
100%.
not a mission.
Nope.
You couldn't do it. You couldn't physically go motorbike racing by yourself.
No.
And like this is the other thing that was really hard coming in this year because like I had no experience of it and had no family background of racing motorbikes. Like I had absolutely no idea. Like you were just landing down there and you're like, where's your, like before that first race they were like, you need a transponder. And I was like, do you not give the transponders? Like, they were like so I thought that you got a transponder, they give it to you, and then that was your transponder.
Like
and
a
then
car
you
package.
and then hand it back. So you had to buy a transponder, and then had to go and get a generator.
Yeah.
And then needed an awning. I was like, right. So you have to bring the bikes to the holding area. Like, what are you doing that for? Like, do you not just bring them out and do you go around? You do it in the grid?
Yeah.
What is all like? No, literally no idea. And then tire pressures. Like, who knows about tire pressures? I had went out and I had done. I think it was a Kyrgyzstan. Like, I had set my tires for the first 4 rounds, maybe.
Right.
So I had set them as cold pressures.
Right.
Well, apparently set them hot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had, what was it, 36 psi in the front tire, cold. You heat that up.
What?
So like you heat that up, and you're on an ice skate.
Jesus
So like
Christ.
you've nothing.
Like
And
40 psi.
Then, yeah, then you've got your back tire, which is just like a plastic shopping trolley wheel.
Yeah. What
And
the
like
fuck?
I came back in, it was like a 58.4 or something. I was just like, yeah. How did that feel? And I was like, it's a bit all over the place. Like, I don't know what it was, because it was a slightly hotter day, so then the temperatures it rose. And
But
then
it was good fun.
it was good fun. Then what he called Andrew Smith came over. I was like, it's just tire wear, it's just brutal. And then he was just like, he had a look at it, and you could just see just like all the rubber just ripping off the tires.
Yeah.
Like they weren't doing nothing; they were just completely overheating and shredding. I was like, what pressures you on? I was like, I think it was like 24 in the rear or something. It's just like cold. I was like, what? It's like, no, it should be that warm.
Hot. 45 minutes.
So it's just completely cooking them. So for the first 4 rounds, I had absolutely no idea. Like, it's just been a complete learning curve the whole way through the year. But good crack, man. Didn't die. Still here. Like. Only, one crash.
That's a bonus.
That's dead on.
Yeah.
You take one crash in a year.
I know. Well, I take one crash in a year anyway. Jesus. I don't want to get on a motorbike again.
I know.
Tempting fate.
But that's part of it, like.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You're sitting there in the holding area and you're sitting on something that could put you in a wheelchair or kill you.
Yeah.
Like, that's
literally.
realistically what you're doing. And
because you are literally just a passenger.
yeah.
And you have to remember that too. Sometimes you're Like you're sitting on 210 brake, and it's that there.
That's it.
That's all you have.
Yeah.
The control.
What's left between your ears is what's in control.
Yeah. Well, I know.
But there's no point asking me what's in there. I have no idea.
Oh, Christ!
It just all came very natural, very quick. So I don't know.
And you're just rolling it on till next year, then.
Just do the same thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just do the same thing. I'd like to try and maybe see if I can get over to the likes of some of the rounds at Orton or something like that. What do you call it? The Bemsey? Is it the Bemsey?
Oh yeah, the club. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe try and get over there. When we were over in Portugal that time, we fell in with a couple of guys that ride in the No Limits series.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, yeah, come over here and we'll meet up and we'll go and do one of the rounds that you want to do, like Donington or Oulton or whatever it is. So
Brilliant.
we'll maybe try and get over and do that. We'll see what way it works, because I know they run it over 3 days or something. So
that's right. Same thing. You're fed up sitting on the bike.
Yeah.
The track time.
You get loads of track time, and I think over there they run it a wee bit more punctual, and it's just like if it's 9 o'clock, then you're out at
That's
9
where you're
o'clock.
going. Yeah.
Gates closed.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, whereas that was the other thing we're trying to learn over here, is like, who the hell knows what's going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, red flags, like you have no idea how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
But like, it just is what it is. Sometimes it's a long day sitting about. Some days it rolls really quick.
It's really good, yeah. And you're home for 5 o'clock sometimes, like, you know. And other times, like, I've been to some race meetings and of different motorsport events. You know, I'm doing karting now. I'm doing a couple of motocross things, you know, and I was at we're doing the mini motos as well, the mini bikes. But I was at their run, CM mini bikes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Unreal.
I done the karting first, right? And like the carts come in off the track as they're coming in, the other carts are going out.
Okay.
And it's just like that. And I thought, here, this is brilliant. If only this was allowed at a motorbike race,
it would be perfect.
It would be perfect.
But you couldn't do it.
Well, went to the mini bikes, same thing.
Right.
As soon as the last bike hit like halfway up the track, the wee bikes were out. Supermotos the same.
No way.
Quads, supermotos. And I was like, why can't we run it like this? And people were saying, oh, you can't, because there has to be track sweeps, everything has to be running. Man, I says, yeah, but what if the marshal says, yeah, we're all clear, go?
There's no reason why you couldn't.
Well, turns out there's not. I don't know what the hold up is, or like, I have a radio. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't know whether the officials or the stewards have their own radio. I don't know, but from what I see, the tracks, you know, go sort of thing. Like, you know,
it would be really, really nice if they like overcompensated and said, right, so 9 o'clock's this, and then 9 to give a wee bit of a leeway.
Yeah.
Then the 600s are out, and then this. So you sort of had a rough idea of time schedule, but sure, it never runs that smooth.
No.
And then sure, even if it did get to the cutoff and there was a red flag, start the next one and then put them to the back. It's something to keep it flowing.
Yeah,
because instead of not holding there, you have no idea.
No tire warmers most of use, and you know, the heat of the engines and. But what I was thinking too, WhatsApp group.
See, them No Limits days.
Mm-hmm.
Was No Limits? They put you into a Telegram.
Yeah.
So the Telegram actually tells you exactly what's going on.
And
what group's going.
You.
Yeah, it's constantly running throughout the day. That would be a great idea. Like, but whether or not they'd ever do something like that is, it sort of needs to get
it's
to
hard.
The times a wee bit.
It's not just a matter of. I witnessed this. I actually did for the World Supercross Championship.
Okay.
Sidecar Cross Championship. And I sat down with one of the FIM stewards, and we're chatting away, you know, lovely man, like wee old man, lovely man. He was Dutch. Chatting away and having the crack and stuff, and then he gave me a phone, and he was on his computer, so he was calling out these numbers, and I put them all in, and then he gave me this big sheet, and I had to put everyone's name on it.
Okay.
That was entered. So instead of having everyone in it all year. They do that every single race meeting.
No way.
So whoever's putting entry in, they make a new WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Like I have world champions on my phone now. You know, because I was saving. I was
setting the shots.
Come to the catch. I can't remember their name. It was Boy Zen or something, you know. But I was putting them in my phone and then sending them to him, sending them to his computer, whatever way that works. And then after the weekend, the whole WhatsApp group scrapped, you know. But like,
that it sort of is the right way to run it.
See, I was getting pings flat out up like 5 minutes, or I'm not joking. I'm shit you not. I was getting notifications of 3-minute delays. There will be a 3-minute delay.
But then at least you know.
Do you
know what I mean? Like at
That's
least
how
you know.
punctual you were.
Yeah.
But see, I'm not joking. See, after 3 minutes, boom, gates dropped. It was unbelievable. Like,
a big timing board at the end of pit lane would be class 2.
Yeah.
Joe with a countdown timer, as this is how long it's going to be. So then you know exactly what it's going to be.
We'll have that for qualifying, don't they?
No.
If we're qualifying, a board with a time on it for qualifying.
Where's it stay?
At the bottom.
No, it doesn't.
What does it do?
Where's my bib?
What? You get that bib back on.
Where?
I'm pretty sure at the end of pit lane.
Maybe back in the Stone Age.
Is it the start of pit lane?
I definitely don't think there is.
I'm pretty sure. I have. There's countdown and qualifying.
Okay.
You know, you get your. Well, fuck, you only get 10 minutes qualifying.
To tell you, that's at the start finish line to tell you how long's left.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh,
Depends
really?
if Roy's put batteries in it. Hard to know.
Take Roy, come on. Oh, no, I just always remember. I remember seeing it for the first time and I went, ooh, posh.
That's the job.
You know. And I knew how long I had to hold my breath for then. Instead of going, where's this checker flag?
No, there's a yellow one hangs at Bishop's Court over the start finish line. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just tells you how long's left. But I mean at the end of pit lane to tell you when your session starts.
Yeah. And because you are at the end of pit lane anyway.
Yeah. See that sitting in that holding area? That is the worst. Waiting on that klaxon. It's terrible.
It's so noisy. And there's so many people.
Yeah.
Like, get away from me.
But then probably if you've done it that many times, it just becomes normal, do you?
Yeah. I always couldn't wait to get the pit lane, the holding area, get there first, especially qualifying, get tire warmers on, and get out with fast boys. You know, that was always my goal. But most of the time, you know, I'm like, fuck's sake, you know, people helping me, my dad, and hurry up. But the thing was, I was standing at the pit wall, and whenever the last lap flag came out, I was running, and then everyone was sitting having coffee and buns. And I just burst in lay on him and go,
let's go.
It's time to go. Ripping tire warmers off. Hurry up. What am I not paying you for?
Yeah.
You know? And you know, that was just first ones there and we're standing there 45 minutes.
See, that is the problem because like it's not on the number.
Yeah, no.
Like what you said earlier, once that last bike comes into pit lane, there's no reason why you shouldn't be out.
Oh.
Because
unless there's a crash or something on the track.
See, letting people across, like that just needs to wait.
Yeah.
So like just let the track be live.
Yeah.
Once it's live, just keep going.
Even if they done this conveyor belt style for 3 or 4 races, maybe 4 races.
See what it's like.
And no, like 4 outings.
Okay.
And then let people across, let them sweep the track or whatever they need to do, or 90% of the time there is a delay anyway. Let the spectators across then, you know. But spectators don't get across. If you're in the karting world or the mini bike world, you have to have good trainers on you. Like,
doesn't happen.
You know, no,
does not happen.
But people love it. They still go to it, you know. Different ways people run things, you know.
Yeah, I can stop bitching about it. It's just like it could be far more punctual.
Yeah, but there's so many people.
That's the problem.
You know?
There's so many classes too, but like don't get me wrong, like them classes have to go, and like it sort of built around. Like for as long as I've enjoyed racing, you always classify motorbike racing as 600s and thousands.
Yeah.
This new 600 class, I have no idea what actually runs in it now. So like,
I don't think anyone does.
yeah, it's just got out of hand. It used to be 600, then Kawasaki was 636, and then what was it, 675 Triumphs, and then now it's what, and that's thousands.
That's
isn't it?
thousands.
That's thousands.
900s.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know.
What do you do with that?
I know. People had an interesting chat with a boy last night.
Right.
I say a boy, a man. And well, basically, he's bringing a new team to the tracks.
Okay.
To the roads. There's a brand new team coming.
Okay.
I had a wee chat with him last night. I had goosebumps.
After what he's trying to do?
To what he's basically done. The only thing he hasn't done is put a bike on track yet.
Okay.
He has everything. But he was the same with a 600 class. Like, why? This isn't on. It's like the Isle of Man. I don't think you're allowed to run it in Isle of Man.
Okay.
Over here, there's certain races that you can't. It's strange. It's a strange setup. Like,
yeah, sure.
I don't get it. And running that one of them Ducatis, Mark Conlon.
I know. I was literally just gonna say that.
Like, I put his lights out this year. Like,
yeah.
The results he had, where he came from, and unbelievable.
Yeah.
He had some season.
Big time, but like, I would say the majority of the season he wasn't running control DCU, which you were supposed to. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck's sake.
No,
that's not this type of show.
I know, and that's
no,
not
but
what
it is.
I'm
Yes,
saying,
no, it is. It is this type of show.
Let's speak the truth, right?
Right, okay.
Sorry, Mark, I don't know you, but like...
No, I don't know, but
you can visibly see it. You can visibly see the Ducati is stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
But like, Ducati is literally taking over the motorcycle world at the minute. Like, if you're not on Ducati, you're going nowhere. But if you want to pay them bills to keep a Ducati going, knock yourself out.
For a penny.
You deserve it. You deserve what's coming.
I'm probably a bit like you. We were bored.
Yeah.
Of the whole Ducati thing.
It was good to see Top Rack. Top Rack and the BM was class. Yeah. Like that was something else. Like because no other Ducati or no other BMW was putting in the same results. It was just physically seeing a man doing unbelievable things.
Pure skill.
Yeah, not
just pure skill.
Yeah,
with him, like,
it's just a pity Johnny didn't go to BM.
I know.
Because that is one of the other things that sparked me to go racing this year. Like, we went to Portimao again and to watch the World Superbikes. Like, and we got a KRT pass. A fella Stevie from Donnelly's brought me over to it.
Right.
And it was a KRT pass that you got to eat in the hospitality, and you got into the box and you could overlook and you could see the boys in the garages doing all their bits and pieces. It was class, like, and you got like a meet and greet with Johnny himself, like, and it was just some experience, and you're just thinking to yourself, geez, that would be class. Hence why the reason is you wanted to go back to Portimao. Yeah. So you'd went there and you'd watch them riding around that.
Sort of part of that.
I want to have a go on that.
Yeah.
So like, that was class. Like, but then Johnny's wrecked himself now again.
I know. Like what? Like, did he not do the same last year? He had a bad start.
He did. He had two massive crashes. Phillip Island again, but I think he was just massively unlucky this time with the bike landing on him. So, like, you know yourself. Like, I think them boys are pushing on, and
I think it's worse than what they're letting on.
So you think so?
Mm-hmm. I do.
It's sad, like, because he's such a talent.
Yeah,
I know. Such a ridiculous talent, like,
and he had such a. Well, it wasn't a bad year.
Yeah,
but it was just an up and down year for him last season.
Just hasn't worked for him, like. But then again, you can sort of see why he left Kawasaki, because like 6 or 7 years, was it? More than me, was it? No, he had 6 world titles. He was there longer.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
Could have been 8 years.
Yeah,
8 years with one manufacturer.
Yeah, it was a long time. But there, look how long he was there. He was with Honda.
I know.
Like, he was Honda from I started racing.
Yeah,
sick. You know, Monster Mob and Red Bull. You know.
Do you watch any of his podcasts? His wee documentaries that Johnny puts up?
Oh, like the vlogs? No.
So he had one up there the other day, and he was just walking down the paddock in Phillip Island. He's just like, this is my, counting it up, 18th year.
Jesus,
like
18 years.
18 years.
You wouldn't think it.
That's insane, like. And another man that loved motocross.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like, what was it his dad said? His dad said that he didn't go to the motocross because there's no money in it. No. What? It's true, like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
sure, motorsport, like, there is no money in it.
No.
There isn't.
There's
like.
not. Anybody who tries to make money out of motorsport, you're a fool.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
But like, you jump on one of them
Unless you're
things,
fleecing
you'll
people.
never have as much fun in your life. Like.
I know. Yeah.
That is the thing. Like,
Yeah.
what do you ever do?
I know.
Like, you've held a Superbike flat down in the Metropole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's ever going to top that for you?
I know.
Nothing can, like.
Well, getting the 200.
Yeah.
I was fuming, boy. 198.
You'll have to go back.
Fuming. I'd need a fucking rocket strap to my arse.
And a diet.
And a diet of cheeky bollocks. It might give me a wee bit of momentum down the hill.
It could be, but probably not.
No, probably not. No.
But here, them big ferns on the M now, it shouldn't be alright. You get in
Aye. Take off with them wings.
Class, man. Yeah, they make some
I'll
difference.
end up
Like,
in Londonderry for fuck's
good.
sake.
There.
Shit.
But
No, I think I did. I wanted to do it. I actually remember saying, well, if I hit the 200 here, I'm not coming back.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, I would love to do it, but I wouldn't settle myself until I was fastest newcomer.
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't.
Really?
Settle. Yeah. I would
That's
not.
because you've got a wee bit of, because you won your first fucking Superbike race. That's why. And you've got a wee bit of.
I think I could probably do
hunger
it.
for it.
I think I could, but then you had to go and ride a 600, and I've no interest in riding 600.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't know.
unless I had to run on one of these R9s or do like something that has a bit more torque and it's
Yeah.
not really a 600,
Yeah.
but it's the size is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, I'm too
You're very tall.
I'm
What
too-
height are you?
6'2" or something like
You're
that.
taller than 6'2". Oh no, well,
I
I used to be 6'1".
you shrinking.
Well, a fucking headbutt at a fence at 140 mile an hour.
That's probably what it is.
So it was like an accordion. Yeah, no, I did. I lost like an inch and a bit.
That's nuts.
Uh-huh. Not
That is nuts.
all in the right places, of course.
The casting couch.
Yeah,
It's still
on
going,
the
obviously.
casting
So. Oh.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so if I could get tucked in behind a 600, because like you'd had to do some adapting to
Yeah,
the
aye.
subframes to try and get me to fit on the 600. And
A Honda, you'd be good. Hondas are pretty small at the front too.
yeah,
And I remember most of the screens that we have, more so in the later parts of my career, we had to lift them a wee bit.
Right.
Yeah, because the tanks were just getting bigger.
no worries.
Yeah,
That
they, were
was.
they were getting higher and higher. And the seats were shrinking. No, but we had to bring everything out, like,
Yeah,
you know, sit right back. But see, from my 125 days, like, I always sat in the back of the seat. Oh, you watch wee riders now,
yeah,
and they still sit in the back of seats, Moto 2 and stuff, like.
yeah. But you look at all, they're just wee jockeys now.
I know.
They really are, like, they're tiny.
Yeah, and they don't eat.
I know.
The parents don't feed them when they're growing up.
Because they're spending
They're
all
not
their
allowed to
money,
grow.
all their money on motorbikes.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. I just got that filled full of spuds and
Yeah.
steaks when I was growing up.
Proper man food. Like.
Out in the, I was going to say out in the country. I didn't even grow up in the country.
Out
Well,
the
sort of did half
Now
my
you're,
life in the country.
now you're in posh Lisburn.
Yeah.
Posh side? Definitely posh side, isn't it? Like,
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. We said we were moving here, and we're like, oh,
Oh.
very fancy.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it?
I definitely drove past. What is it, Lady Wallace?
Lady Wallace,
Lady
darling.
Wallace.
That's where we go for a tea and
Is
crumpets
that what it is?
on Sunday.
On
Yes.
your wee strolls?
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Don't even. We're taking up tennis. Me and the
Right.
wife, yeah, me and the wife we're going to play tennis in the Wallace grounds. Yes. Yeah.
Is that what motorcycling does, that man?
It does. It was either that or golf, and fuck, am I walking around that golf course up there?
Nah, golf is just different level altogether.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
love my golf.
Really?
Oh, love it.
That's weird.
Love it.
Why?
That's pretty much what took over for me. Like, why I had no real interest in motorbikes back then, because it just had a massive interest in golf.
You were just golfing,
Yeah.
flat out.
Golf is class, like.
How?
It just is.
Oh, it's just like because you're out and you chill and
playing your ball.
you hit a ball and you can play with your balls and It always ends with balls. Like.
Yeah. No, it's classic. See the crack, the social side of it. That's the other thing with the racing too. Like, see the crowd that you fall in with, and you have some crack in the paddock. Like, you really, really do.
Just a big family, like.
It pretty much is.
Yeah. I'm not joking. Like, was it my mum? Well, she never wanted me to go racing.
Okay.
Never wanted me to go racing, and I think she said something like, "Oh, I'm glad you're away from that owl. I don't want them kids or whatever." I'm getting on like she's an old lady. You know? She's not. You're not. Jeez, kick March the next time she sees me. But like, I don't want like my son Maddox or Holly. I don't want them at the racing and all. And I'm like, but like, it's because of the racing. I grew up, well, half decent. I haven't ended up in prison anyway. You know, and a lot of my friends that I grew up with, dead.
Yeah.
They're either dead or they're in prison.
That's nuts.
I'm not joking. That's a fact.
Racing saved you.
And I was too busy. I have to go racing this weekend.
Yeah.
You know,
so like you had to save.
I can't burn that house down.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't afford matches to burn that house down. I'm going to buy tires. You know what I mean? But no, I came away from all that and I thought, you know, what fun are you getting out of this?
Yeah.
Hurting people.
Yeah.
I'm going motorbike racing at the weekend.
Well,
you know, or hurting yourself. You know, they're all druggies, chewing the face off themselves now, or they've no face left. You know what I mean?
Crazy
and that's all because, well, partly my mom and dad, I was well brought up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You just didn't have the money to go and spend it on something stupid, so you bought tires so that you get a couple of laps out and then you just throw away.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh yeah, dead money, thanks.
Yeah. Fucking right.
Brutal.
So it's the same. That was my drug.
Yeah.
You know, them sniffing gas and petrol.
To be fair, motorbikes worse than drugs.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's definitely 10 times worse.
But
like you go from not
you get
having
a bigger high. Like.
Yeah, you go from nothing and then you motorbikes, and then it just like nearly seems like your whole life's consumed by motorbikes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not riding them, you're thinking about them. What do you need this? And that's class.
Yeah.
It's sicking you.
I know.
It really would.
My dad's bad for.
Yeah.
Still, like he would sit on his phone, and he would send me photos or videos. You know, of my dad's reminiscing. Next thing, motorbike parts. TZ350 pistons and all, and you know all these wee trick bits and pieces, and he's still buying motorbike parts.
Yeah,
none of us have rode motorbikes. Well, I haven't rode a motorbike from 2001. You know what I mean?
That's a long time.
That's a long time. I didn't know this until I done a column there. Oh, I have to plug my column. Sounds weird. After road race.
Thank God I'm not.
Well, the night's not over yet. But road race in Ireland, 1st of March, I think it is. So I've got a column out.
Okay.
And funny because Gavin Cadwell, God, lovely man. He asked me to do it, and he says 1,800 words about you. Keys racing, whatever, and I thought I don't know 1,800 words.
No chance.
Sat down, typing away, talked about my granda, a couple of his wee stories, and you know, it's fantastic. Like, next thing, fucking 5,500 words. I had to apologise. I says, Gavin, I don't know, you can do whatever you want with this, you take it. Fantastic, but yeah, went to the printers last night. No, it went to the printers today. It'll be out 1st of March, road race in Ireland. Grab it off the shelves. Not joking. It's a good read, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking of writing a book too.
You should.
It's just all underlined red. I can't spell.
Just with star asterisks, all the swear words and all that. Blank them out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nuts.
No, but I can't even remember what we were talking about there before that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool getting into road race in Ireland too.
Oh,
you
yeah.
look at that book and all the names that has ever been on it, and Dunlop on the front page of it, and then like after that first round, there was a picture of you in it, and then there's a picture of you in it nearly
little old you.
every other month.
Yeah.
And you just see the orange bib in the background, just like yeah.
It's because you're a nice guy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, nice guys win. You know,
nice guys finish last. Maybe I'm a ball bag.
You're a ball bag on a motorbike.
Yeah.
No. Very rude. So. Oh, you were talking to me earlier about a plan. something different?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, you're not allowed to talk about that, no?
I have no idea.
No, because you didn't say much earlier. You just said no of something else.
No,
No.
We'll see.
Oh, you secret.
No.
Secret squirrel meetings.
The fella came to me and they said that he was sort of talking about how much of a good result that you had last year and sort of wants to try and give a bit of a hand. Like, so we'll see.
Very good.
We'll see what happens.
Brilliant. And that's all you're going to say about that?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Right. Okay. Bastard. Right. Anyway, Marco, I'm not going to keep you.
No, appreciate you bringing me here.
No, thanks very much. We'll get you back on.
Yeah, talk
100% after your next win.
Pure down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that might be a while.
Yeah. We might get a guest on as well.
Yeah.
Me and you rip the piss out of someone else.
Now you're talking.
How about that?
I'm definitely up for that.
Good lad. Listen, Marco, all the best for the season.
Thanks very much.
I'm sure I'm going to see you before that anyway.
Big time.
And we'll get a wee bit of crack at the track.
Perfect.
Good lad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Good lad.